Hey guys, this is Alan, and I'm here to talk about things that are interesting to me. Now, today I'm going to talk about friendship, and there's a reason behind that, and that's because I'm doing a subject called Friendship of Sociology. I mean, the interesting thing is that when I initially did it, I told one of my friends, William, about me possibly being a bit apprehensive to know, things that that has to do with friendship, because he told me, and I do really agree, that once you know too much about something, you can sometimes have a bit of a misconception or a preconception about certain assumptions about situations. And for example, and this relates to friendship in a sense, that if someone told me their opinion of someone even before I've met them, I will go with that kind of opinion. And anything that that person does will only validate my views that have been told to me by my other friend. Uh, and lately, that's been a really reoccurring problem with a lot of people, especially with some acquaintances and some friends. Actually, we have another friend who's very crude and a bit too much, and sometimes we can feel a little uncomfortable. We do feel a little uncomfortable. Um, and I personally don't usually don't say anything because I don't want to get involved with just discussing uh, the perceptions the other person has about this particular person. I'd like to more like go to that person myself and just tell them what I think and what I see, because I always feel that you won't ever have a true and fair opinion when you're telling someone else about your ideas and things. You're usually biased in one direction or the other. And it's the same with knowing someone. And so, usually when I talk to people, or when I tell people things about other people, I usually try to be as very vague as I can, because I don't want them to have a view that I influenced myself. Anyway, going into more of this, I really like the idea of deep friendships between people that you usually unlikely become friends with, and that's mainly because the idea of self-disclosure. When you tell someone, a secret about yourself, uh, usually they usually tell you a secret of their own, and you become much closer because each party has uh, certain things at stake when they talk to people about their personal lives. Um, I'm starting to not make sense, and I gotta use an example. It's a bit like if I tell you right now that I used to um, kick cats on the street for no reason, and you would tell me that you used to pee on the sidewalk when no one was looking, and now we wouldn't tell other people each other's secrets, because now that we know each other's secrets, we can't. We're locked in. And what's curious is some people can feel really constricted and restricted in a relationship where they've told so much about themselves that they don't want to say anything else. It's not that they want to say anything else, but for example, if I had a friend who I used to talk about my personal I went through a really sad phase, and I told my friend how I was feeling, and he told me about his father and how his situation was there, and I guess after a while we just grew used to each other's persona and like just way of acting, but it wasn't really completely us, and it's really interesting because the people that you grow to become really close with, there will be certain secrets that you wouldn't tell them. Like I wouldn't tell another friend that I used to be very crude in the way I spoke. I used to swear a lot. I used to be very quick to judge and very angry. Um, with them, I'm a completely different person because I've shown them secrets, or I've told them and I've showed them something about myself that they have now had an assumption with. And when they see me act out of act out of character, it it's a bit discomforting. It's uncomfortable to see. Um, and I guess one of my friends, Chantel, she told me that I was gonna blog about I was gonna blog about some guy who was being racist on the street, and I wasn't. It's not like I'm trying to talk about racism, but it's really funny. She probably assumed that I was gonna write a blog about racism, but it was more of personal reaction, because when he was swearing at us to go back to our country, I turned to him and I went, "How about you fuck off?" But in the most angry, gruff way that I have haven't done in with company like that, with friends like that. I've never actually been that rough talking. I don't know how to explain myself, but I'm usually like that because when I'm with a situation where I feel threatened, or if I'm on edge, I will instantly become very rough and talk to tell people to fuck off like that. But like, I'm not always like that, and it seems really out of character and a bit disconcerting. So it's interesting to say the least. What else? I mean, if I had to really bring it back, it would be more like when you're with friends someone long enough and they don't really care, or they're really indifferent to how you are changed in character when you're in different situations. I think that's a true friend. I don't have many friends like that, but with the few I have, I'm very happy for, because they're used to me being really nice like this sometimes, and they're used to me being very edgy and angry, sometimes really mean, and that's a good thing. I mean, I've lost my thought there, but I guess, yeah, when you have someone who can understand you when you change your character to suit a situation, then they're a true friend, because people have to understand, and I understand, that the person you know isn't always that person in different situations. Like, and sometimes I see glimpses of that through other friends where something would surprise them or just put them on edge, and they would change character according to what is happening, and they would apologize about it for being out of character. But I really think it's part of your character to react in those ways, because that's who you are, and you wouldn't be out of character because that's what you're doing. Like, you wouldn't usually do it. I guess you could say that's out of character, but it's still part of your character. It's very interesting to say things are out of your character. It's really funny. Just reading about. Well, I was watching a YouTube video recently about a man who went around and asked girls if guys and girls can be friends, and I like to agree and I like to disagree. It went along like this. He asked a girl if she's any good friends with any guys, and the girl would usually reply yes, and the guy would go, "Well, are those guys into you? Do you think they're romantically interested in you in some way?" And the girls would usually think about it and say, "Yeah, I think he is interested in me." And that's a problem, because when there are two friends and they're both attractive, if one friend finds the other, like if they find each other attractive, there's gonna be always some friendship and romantic tension in the way they conduct their things. I mean, sometimes there are cases where one friend is romantically interested in the other, while the other only views them as a friend. There's only rare cases. It's just the dynamic is really interesting between friends. Like, you either don't like each other and you're good friends, or one likes the other, or they both like each other, but they want to be friends. Or it's weird. Yeah. What else? I'm just finding it really funny because we say, in my circle of friends, that they say that I have a kind of like a gay vibe, I've got like girly hands and a really feminine way of conducting myself. To be honest, if I had to relate back to what I was saying, I'm usually not like that. Usually I'm really serious and thing, but I find it really uncomfortable because I know how that side of me affects people in a certain way, and I don't like having that influence, I guess, being like that around people that I like. I mean, I'd rather be a bit stupid and quirky and let them make fun of me if they're comfortable, because I don't want them to be uncomfortable, I guess. I know it sounds a bit selfless, but I don't want to be selfish. They're both really bad, I guess, being selfish and being selfless. You gotta look out for yourself, but also look out for others. Be considerate. I prefer to be more considerate of others because my personal problems don't matter. I don't want to bring that to the table. Yeah, so I was just relating to the gay thing. Like, gay guys, I think, make the best friends. Mainly because they can give you love advice. Because when you're with a guy, you can always ask, oh, what a guy likes, and what a guy would think if a girl does this. And the guy wouldn't think anything about it because he's gay. He'll know what to say. And it's really funny because, in accordance with like risk control of romantic relationships, it's a bit wordy to say. When a girl makes friends with a guy, she's always sometimes apprehensive if he's gonna like her, or he just really wants to be friends, or it could be vice versa. Like the girl wants to let the guy know that she likes him, but she's already become too friendly with him to show how she feels. But with a gay guy, you know his orientation. You won't feel uncomfortable about it because you know that's who he is. Very funny. With that knowledge, for a while I pretended I was gay, I guess. Well, I told people that I like to hang out with that I was gay, just so they'd feel comfortable hanging around with me. It's pretty funny because I'm not gay, but saying that I'm not gay now, those certain groups of friends will think I'm just lying or denying, because that's how they saw me. That was their perception of me, because of the way I acted only validated the image that they already had in their mind. So that's funny. But I really do like girls. It's a bit weird to say. Yeah. Now I know this is a weird video that I've just uploaded. I've been sick for a couple of days. I've been sad. I just needed something to distract me for a while. So this, my eyesight just went funny. This has been fun for me. Just making videos like this, singing, doing things like that. I have no idea what the heck I'm going on about. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this has been interesting for you. Otherwise, I'm sorry for wasting your time, and have a nice day.